is a spiritual deity. Freedom and liberty and justice shall fight for you. When you fight for freedom with all your soul, take it from me. This is Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, BCB, the voice of the nation, the voice.
Fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, this is Rosama, and this is BCB. 2024 has ended with no improvement in the lives of those living in Nigeria, especially in the southeast, which has now become a war zone. We cannot walk away from the mass atrocities crippling the southeast. The death toll has been rising, and the silence on the part of the government authorities and the international community is roaring. Yes, roaring. The Southeast faces abject poverty despite its wealth in natural resources. How does one explain such illogicality? In this first broadcast in the new year, we must speak the truth no matter how painful and dreadful it is. The Southeast is being annihilated by the Nigerian government and its terror-generating arms. While many people are busy proclaiming Happy New Year, the reality remains that the Southeast, Biafra land, has not witnessed happiness since the end of the Biafra-Nigeria War. In the past decade, so many thousands of people have died in an escalating culture of violence perpetrated against Biafrans and Igbos in particular. These have been documented by organizations such as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and now Intersociety. It is time to wake up and ask, what promises has Nigeria made to you that it has honored? Intersociety, the Nigerian-based international society for civil liberties and rule of law, released its long-awaited documentation of human rights violations in Nigeria. It is worth reading. Nigeria's human rights violations have been noted in various reports from human rights organizations such as I mentioned earlier, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, the Global Center for Responsibility to Protect. And so, I ask again, or BCB asks again, my people, what promises has Nigeria made to you that it has honored? Is it not time to wake up? This is Rosama, and this is BCB. Welcome to 2025. And here is a special announcement from the leadership of Biafra government in exile. This is BCB.
Happy New Year and welcome. In 2025, we will continue to make the case for freedom, liberty, and security for the peoples of Biafra in the present-day Southeast Nigeria. There is no better way than to bring to the fore the recent report of Intersociety, a human rights organization, on the barbaric killing of over 50,000 Biafrans, mostly Igbos, by the Nigerian security operatives. Nigeria, ocean of innocent blood flowing in the east, is a damning report. It presents hard, verifiable evidence of the atrocities being committed against Biafrans by the Nigerian state. Ocean of innocent blood flowing in the east represents a chilling and shocking account of the Nigerian security operatives' siege and terror in eastern Nigeria since August 2015, creating a war zone situation and murdering over 50,000 people in the process. BGIE supports in its entirety this report and its contents, and call on the international community to use it to establish the truth and to grant Biafrans their right to self-determination on the grounds that the Nigerian state is complicit in these crimes and also in the crime of genocide. In 1966, over 50,000 were slaughtered in the pogrom. In 1967 to 1970, over 3 million were slaughtered in the war. And from 2015 till date, over 50,000 of the same people slaughtered. We will continue to make the case for the independence of Biafra as a separate nation from Nigeria. And that's the only way to stop the killings, the marginalization, the subjugations, and yes, the threat to Islamization. Long before recorded history, there was Igbo land, Biafra land, a coalition of village republics, east and west and south of the great river Niger. They were completely intertwined and interrelated biologically, sociologically, and anthropologically, and historically as well, sharing same cosmological view of the world. They have acted on their environment and vice versa since time immemorial, establishing a unique form of civilization that placed absolute premium on human life and balance with nature. They confronted hundreds of years of infamous Atlantic slavery and were later steamrolled through force of arms into the British Empire as an autonomous protectorate of the Niger Delta, later merged into the protectorate of southern Nigeria. In 1914, she was co-joined to the separately run British protectorate of northern Nigeria on a single reason of using their resources to offset the lack of the northern protectorate. The Igbo people, wrongfully or forcefully yoked together in Nigeria, never accepted their new subjugated status. They fought British colonialism with all their might. The major culmination of the Igbo quest for independence against the British was the Igbo Women's War of 1929. That, for the first time, exposed the British colonial underbelly. Less than 30 years after the Women's War, and ably led by Igbo political leaders like Nnamdi Azikiwe, Nigeria was granted independence. That became the double jeopardy for the Igbo. And that is, British suzerainty was replaced with Fulani Islamic suzerainty, to the charging of Igbo leaders who fought for independence as their northern Fulani counterparts preferred a continuation of the colonial rule. The history of British imposed colonial rule can be summarized as the history of the despoliation of Igbo land for not only British interest, but the interest of the smaller Fulani ethnic group. With independence and power firmly entrenched in the hands of the Fulani-backed British arms, backed by British arms, the stage was set for the epic battle for the soul of the nation and for its true independence immediately after independence. To cleanse the origin stable, patriotic military revolutionaries from across the new nation struck on January 15, 1966. That was conceived and executed as a pan-Nigerian revolution and was quickly turned by the British and their Fulani oligarchs into an anti-Eastern Nigerian putsch, ensuring a pogrom against the Igbo people, as has never yet been seen in Africa. A pogrom that claimed over 50,000 Igbo lives, the likes of which have never been seen in Africa. By January 1970, over 3 million Igbo had been hacked to death in what became Africa's most horrific civil war. More than 50 years down the line, all the turbulent reasons that gave birth to Nigeria, all the reasons that were at the foundation of the agitation for an independent Republic of Biafra, did not just remain, but they quadrupled, and they will continue ad infinitum until either Igbo are completely and totally physically eliminated, the likelihood which has become impossible, or the crisis continues. Looking back at Nigeria since before and after independence, one feels the pain of being unequally and unfairly yoked forcefully together with a people with whom you share nothing in common. Yet, we have endured. Our indomitable will, our courage, our endurance of the severest deprivation, our resourcefulness and inventiveness in the face of tremendous odds and dangers are indeed proverbial, and have become a source of frustration to those who would rather have us dead or in perpetual slavery. Between 1967 and 1970, under the severest conditions, we dared to insist on our right to life on our own terms. Our people paid the premium. They paid the ultimate sacrifice. And in order that there should be a remnant to the name of Biafra, we capitulated without a broken spirit. Our backs may have been bent, yet our spirits remain as stout as ever. The spirit of Biafra was never conquered and can never be conquered. And so we urge every Biafran, as we embark in a continued agitation for our freedom, to do so in the most peaceful manner. We have to take advantage of the opportunities available to us through legal instruments, through international protocols that we can engage with. The scene is set, and we know that we will continue, because our fight is a noble one. And as we demand freedom and liberty, we do not make peace or war with Nigeria. In fact, we do not ask Nigerians not to make the best out of their country. Not at all. On the contrary, we wish Nigeria well. However, we are also going to continue to re-emphasize that Biafrans no longer belong to Nigeria, that we long left Nigeria in spirit and working strenuously, and will continue to work strenuously to extricate ourselves, body, soul, and spirit, out of the British-imposed contraption. I wish you the best of 2025. If you're fighting in the bushes in eastern Nigeria, in Biafra land, anywhere, causing mayhem, This is your opportunity to stop now. Our agitation is not about violence. It's about our principle. It's about our safety. It's about our security. It's about our freedom and liberty. And we have ways and means of achieving it this year and in the years to come. Thank you and God bless you. And may God bless our nation, Biafra.
This is the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra.
This is BCB, the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, bringing you the news headlines for the week. In the news this week, Nnamdi Kanu, Ohanaeze sends message to Tinubu ahead of Enugu visits. Insecurity. We are ready to rescue Anambra from unknown gunmen. NFSS. Simon Ekpa. Nigerian Army provides major updates on move to extradite Biafra separatist leader Stay tuned for the details to follow shortly. Nnamdi Kanu, Ohanaeze sends message to Tinubu ahead of Enugu visits, and this was reported by NigeriaNews.com on the 3rd of February 2025. The President General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Nze Fidelis Chukwu, has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to leave an enduring legacy by ordering the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. Speaking ahead of Tinubu's visit to Enugu State, Chukwu described such a gesture as a monumental step that would write Tinubu's name in gold among the Igbo people and well-meaning Nigerians. In a statement issued by Ohanaeze's spokesman, Alex Ubonai, Chukwu lauded the federal government's gradual shifts in its approach towards the Igbo nation under Tinubu's leadership. He expressed hope that the president's visit to Enugu would mark a turning point for reconciliation and unity. The statement read, "It is therefore hoped that with the Enugu visit, President Tinubu will write his name with gold in the hearts of Ndigbo and all well-meaning Nigerians if he orders for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu." Ohanaeze emphasized that marginalization and deprivation and external instigation of insecurity have posed a significant threat to the Igbo community, asserting that addressing these issues would foster national harmony and development. In other words, there is hardly any society or group that can be complacent under severe existential threats such as orchestrated marginalization, relative deprivation, and external instigation of insecurity, conflagrations, and crisis, he added. The group also praised Governor Peter Ndubisi Mba for his transformative leadership in Enugu. Highlights of Mba's administration include the development of Enugu International Conference Center, smart schools across electoral wards, improved healthcare facilities, and revitalization of critical infrastructure such as hotel, presidential, and flour mills. Additionally, the statement commended Governor Hope Uzodinma, chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, for equipping Sam Mbakwe International Cargo Airport in Owerri with night standing capabilities, a move described as life-saving. Ohanaeze concluded by wishing Tinubu a safe and fulfilling visit to Enugu while extending the famed Igbo hospitality to him during his stay. And for our next news headline, reported by newsdiary.com on the 2nd of January 2025, insecurity. We are ready to rescue Anambra from unknown gunmen. The Nigerian Forest Security Services has expressed its readiness to collaborate with the Anambra government to rescue its forests from unknown gunmen and other criminal elements. The commander of the NFSS, Anambra State Command, Destiny Jonas, made this known in a statement made available to newsmen on Thursday in Abuja. Jonas said the call became necessary following the kidnap of Anambra lawmaker coupled with the abduction of an Anglican clergy and the killing of a Catholic priest in the state. He said the recent brutal killing of 8 persons in Chibono village in Umuike and Ihiala on December the 30th, 2024 by daredevil gunmen, as well as other heinous crimes being perpetrated across the state, required synergy with Forest Security Service. NFSS is ever willing and ready to offer its expertise in securing the forest and bushes, both for economic reasons and security purposes. Our operations are mostly in the forest and bushes, and we know the terrain very well. NFSS will be most obliged to join forces with other security agencies to ensure the success of the Operation Udoga Dina Anambra Security Initiative of the state government intended to rid the hinterland of criminal elements unleashing terror and mayhem on the people. NFSS can gather intelligence to demobilize any kind of force in the forest. All that is needed is the collaboration of government agencies and government itself, including recognition of the Nigerian Forest Security Services. NFSS is ready to rescue Anambra Forest from unknown gunmen and other criminal elements, but the need for recognition and roundtable discussions are of paramount importance, he said. The commander expressed concerns that investors were fleeing from Anambra to invest in other states because of insecurity in the land. He said that officers and men of the NFSS had been assisting the police and other security agencies to ensure safety of those who return to Anambra for the festive season. Jonas emphasized that a lot more had to be done to redeem Anambra forests from the tutelage of daredevil gunmen and other criminal minds. According to him, the impassable remote areas like Achala, Nsugbe, and some others were hitch-free because the men of NFSS were stationed in those places. Jonas said that NFSS had identified some flashpoint bushes across the state where it would declare total war on criminal camps from January 2025. According to him, Jonas said that NFSS had identified flashpoint bushes across the state where it would declare total war on criminal camps from January 2025. He said all the security outfit required was a permission from the authorities to enable them launch massive operations in the identified black spots. The commander disclosed that some kidnapped victims were rescued, by the operatives of NFSS during the festive period. And for final news headline of the day, Simon Ekpa, Nigerian Army provides major updates on move to extradite Biafra separatist leader. And this was reported by Legit.ng on the 3rd of January 2025. The Nigerian government has made significant progress in its efforts to extradite Simon Ekpa, the Finland-based pro-Biafra agitator. Simon Ekpa was arrested by the Finnish law enforcement on November 21st, and he faces charges of spreading terrorist propaganda on social media. He was subsequently sent to prison by a district court. The Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, Musa, confirmed that the federal government has submitted most of the necessary documents to the Finnish authorities for Ekpa's extradition. Musa expressed his satisfaction with Ekpa's arrest, adding, "Well, I'm sure he is cooling off somewhere. Legal action is going to be taken accordingly. I don't want to say much about that, but I am happy he has been arrested. The federal government has been under pressure to take decisive action against the separatist leader, who has been an outspoken advocate for Biafra's cessation from Nigeria." And that brings an end to our news headline for the week. This is BCB, the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, saying Happy New Year and thank you for listening. Once again, goodbye, friends.
This is the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, BCB.
Join us next time for news, cultural, and educational programs. This is the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, BCB.
To be strength.